Yesterday was rough. I spent the entire day cleaning out the van. The floor, the sides, I just spent scraping and then wire brushing any place there was bare metal or rust. Just brushing it down as best I could to get rid of any rust. All the way from the back of the van all the way up here. I took out the floor mat, found some spots of rust underneath it. It had that insulation, that heat and sound barrier type insulation that the manufacturers put in it. It had that, and then the rubber mat, and underneath that insulation though it was moist, it was wet. So I guess those kind of are like sponges that soak up any moisture, and you get it on the floor there. So took it all, around the driver's side, everything. So what I'm going to do now is, I'm trying to be careful because this camera picks up any little touching on the camera or whatever I'm holding. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to go to a car wash, spray out the whole entire inside, maybe go over it with a brush and some soap, get it ready for painting. Once it dries, then what I'm going to do is go over every little spot where there's exposed metal or where there was rust and hit it with like a Rust-Oleum primer to help keep it from rusting anymore or starting new rust. And then once that's done and dried, I am going to go over the floor and the sides with a like a Bedliner type spray, really durable, tough coating. And then from there I'll be able to put down any type of flooring. This is kind of just the prepping for a future flooring. I still haven't decided. I've watched dozens of videos of people who put floors into their vans, and it seems like every single one does it differently. Just a lot of different techniques and ways of insulating and underlayment, and there was no one way that I saw that everybody kind of agrees on. It was just do it your own way. So I would be interested, since it'll probably be a little while before I actually put the floor down, I'd be interested in knowing what people suggest, what people have used in their vehicles, their vans or RVs for flooring. So that would be very helpful. But for now, it's time to go to the car wash. Well, at least I know this flex arm that I've got from Joby can't handle a lot of off-roading, a lot of vibration, shaking, so I'll have to use a different mount. So time to start washing the inside of the van.
Well, I
think I got most of the residue and junk from all the sanding and wire brushing. It's going to take probably a little while to dry. So I'm going to head back home, and next up, priming and painting. Okay, I just returned from the car wash. Picked up a few supplies at the store, did a little more cleaning in here, and now what I'm going to do is use this Bondo plastic metal, and I'm going to fill in as many of the holes, and there's dozens of holes that were in here, but I'm going to fill the holes in. After that, I am going to go over all the areas that are bare metal and any type of rust that I can see with this rusty metal primer. And once all that dries, I'm gonna use a like an undercoating spray and just go over all the inside, basically from about right here, this beam down, and then the whole floor. It's kind of like a truck bed type body paint, you know, that gives it a really good rugged coat. So hopefully that will give me something to work with, something to start from when I start putting down the floor. It's a little windy out, which is nice because it keeps it cool, but I also hope it doesn't blow any garbage in here. But otherwise, just going to get busy. Well, the floor is cleaned up quite a bit. Still got a lot to do, but got rid of pretty much all the rust, primed it, and then put a kind of a rough paint coating, kind of like a Bedliner type paint, all the way up to, well, the whole cab area I did, And let me show you. Get the door wells, or the section down here. Pulled up the old rubber mat and the insulation that was the original factory type insulation. There was a lot of moisture underneath it, creating a lot of rust. So it took quite a work to clean this whole floor. It's kind of getting dirty again underneath there, but cleaned it, scraped it, got it down to the bare metal, and I salvaged a little bit of that rubber mat. I believe it's one whole piece that should go around, but it was just all torn up, and so only a few pieces were any good. I cleaned them up a little bit, but I have to get some more of that sound and heat insulation that goes on the floor around the whole cab area, and then buy a new rubber mat, a replacement one that fits over everything, and then a couple maybe floor mats as well. I think that'll really quiet things down, although it has quieted down a lot since I put the insulation up there and put this textured area down, covered up or filled in all the holes, the screw holes. I have to buy a couple more of these little plugs. There's 2 of them here, but there's 2. It's missing 2. That's for the seat. What, Cooper? What? Yeah, you haven't been up here. Well, maybe you have. I don't know if he can jump up that high. You're getting a little too old to jump like that. But as you can see, I coated it or painted it all the way up to just underneath the windows. Next, I will put some more of this ceiling type, this material, insulation material on the walls there. Fill those in. I'm still not sure what kind of floor I'm going to put down, but this will keep it from rusting now. I don't have to worry about that, especially once I do the underside of the van. Coat that with an undercoating. That'll really make sure I don't get any rust. Let's see, I gotta clean up the whole dash area still. It's kind of dirty, and replace that piece there. It's sagging in some areas. I'm not sure what I'll replace it with. If I'll use the same, whatever I use up on the rest of the ceiling. So until I get a new floor though put down, until I decide what. Can you jump up here, Cooper? Oh! Yeah, I guess barely. But until I put the floor down, I might just buy a big rubber mat. I think, the kind of the shop mats that you can buy, I think, at Home Depot or Lowe's. And that'll help protect it, and if I carry anything, keep it from scratching. And so, pretty happy with it so far. It really quieted the noise inside here down quite a bit just with this paint and the insulation up there. Can I go up there? Okay. And then it's going to start thinking about what to do as far as how to design the inside here. I want to make some coverings for the windows. Probably eventually get them tinted, but I also want to make some coverings that are maybe held up with magnets and insulated. Cooper, hey! He's getting a little clingy in his old age. 13 years old, yep. Slowing down a little bit, big guy. Yeah. So, I'm going to replace this tailpipe. I already did this side because it was broken, so I've got a new tailpipe here. We have to do the other side. I have to clean off all this adhesive that was holding a piece of trim on there. I don't know if I'll replace the trim or just you know, once I clean off the adhesive, leave it like that. I also put these up here so when the window's open, it keeps, I think, most bugs and everything out. That's on all 4 windows. And there's my buddy Cooper. Twinkie's off somewhere. I'm going to have to go find her. She likes to wander off. So that is the update so far. And it's hopefully we'll be on the road, I don't know, a month or 2. It's going to take a while. So I will update you all soon when I decide what to do next.